What's going on, everybody? Kevin and David here, and we figured we'd just kind of talk about a couple of things. We want to start basically putting out some videos here for you to either talk about like a quick topic, something that we could apply to our life, our work, our workouts, just to help you out, right? Because we want to kind of share some of our experiences, what we do as professionals in the industry, and as not just that, but something that we do a lot of throughout the week.
Yeah.
Most trainers are working out probably a little bit more than the average person, even more than, say, the average. Even if you're a person who does a lot of exercise on your own, we're probably still doing a little bit more than them. And that's just
a lot of slightly more health focused.
Yeah, and that's probably more so just because it's part of what we do is we really enjoy it, right? So we're kind of always going towards those things, right? We had an article on the group just the other day about having fun and de-stressing, and it talked more beyond working out, but how to incorporate that into working out and why just doing things like that in general are fun.
Yeah.
So the first thing obviously is why have fun, and so you could look at this in a lot of different ways. So when I try to train my clients, there's a few things that I look at as what's important in training, especially in the session itself. One of them is it fun?
Yeah.
A lot of clients, they'll tell me, and I try to figure out what they don't and don't like, and I try to keep it aligned with what they do like, with adding some of the things that they don't like. We can save it for another topic another day. You know, if you don't like something, you're probably going to avoid it, which means you're probably missing some of the benefits of it. So you got to include some of the crappy stuff anyways, but you keep it aligned with the things that you do like, whether that's that certain type of exercise, working out a certain way, a certain sport, right? You're going to be able to stay on track by doing something that you enjoy doing. Obviously, if you don't like it, you're going to get tired at one point. You might get a lot of momentum at the start, and then you'll eventually fall off track. And this is a common theme that we see in nutrition, right? Like I don't like keto, and keto is fine, but you got to think if it's long term. And so the thing is, people will do something like that, keto, and then they get results because they stick to this plan, but they cut out a lot of the food that they like, and eventually they get sick of cutting out the food they like, and they get sick of eating the food that they don't like, or not all the foods, and then they go back. And that's the same thing with your working out. So you got to figure out what types of things are you really enjoying doing, or how to make them even more enjoyable. So obviously we want to kind of talk about our experiences. So one thing that I love the feeling of working out and what it was doing, and I figured out how to like it, but part of what I really enjoyed doing was I loved listening to my music and just thinking about other things throughout the day. Like oftentimes when I was working out and playing sports, I was thinking about football all the time when I was working out in between my sets, and I was kind of just doing my workout while visualizing or thinking about good things. And I used to leave the house, and my mom would say, "Okay, Kevin, have fun." This was when I was much younger. And now in my head, I'm like, "Oh, this is not fun, Mom. I'm freaking tough guy. I want to lift weights." But really, I look back on it, and it was right. And part of what made it fun was, I had my music. I was thinking about things throughout the day, trying new things. I was feeling good about the things I was doing in there, whether it was the workouts or getting stronger. Not only that, and then you're messing around with some people, right? You might socialize a little bit with some of those people in there, and it's fun to do that, right? So because I enjoyed it so much, not just because of the act of what I was doing, that's a big factor as to why I continue to do it, and so continuing today. So I don't know about yourself, what kind of makes you do a lot of stuff or have fun or enjoy?
Yeah, usually if you don't feel some sort of reward, and part of it is the fun experience, then you probably won't do that aspect anymore. And if I reflect back to, let's just say what you mentioned before, fad diets, where it's so restrictive that you can't allow yourself to have what you perceive as fun, then you'll probably fail and you'll stop at it eventually at some point.
Yeah.
But if your diet, for example, is strategic and there's a plan to it and a method to your madness, but you can still have those fun items that still give you pleasure, then you'll probably stick to it, and you'll probably stick for it maybe for life or for a long period of time.
Yeah.
Same thing with working out. When I first started working out, it was more I was forcing myself to do it. I have to do this. But then, yes, you're right, absolutely right. The interactions with other gym members over time, the confidence that I got to even talk to those other gym members, learn about their life, and then share, and it's kind of bonding. It's like, how typically if you're retired, you see the retired generation, they go out and meet for coffee still every morning or every week and stuff like that, and they socialize with their little community. Health and the people you hang around becomes your new community, and it's really cool, and you get to share and learn and figure out what you're going through, maybe your struggles or your wins. and hopefully I can learn from your struggles so I don't have to go through it, and you'll probably be so excited to be like, yeah, I got through this and I got through that, and you can too, and then like you come out of that workout, even if you did it, even if you just put on your gym shoes and went to the gym and had that interaction with another professional that's doing the same thing, like it's fun.
Yeah, and yeah, so a lot of to get the results in and out of the gym is going to come down to enjoying it and having fun, right? Like I said, the article we talked about it mentioned a lot of things in terms of just de-stressing outside, and so that included things like having a hobby or doing something fun outside, playing a game, playing with your kids, playing a sport, whatever it is, painting, it could be anything, right? And how that basically is included with de-stress, right? We're talking right now about how you can incorporate into your workouts to make those more enjoyable, but also we want to talk about how, because we want to do things that help you all around your life, because we've been around the block a few times, so we want to try and share our experiences and tell you what we have done to make our lives good. And so, like I said, always ask yourself, like, do you have a hobby, right? Or do you have any interests that you do, rather than just coming home and watching Netflix or doing something like that every day, right? Because it allows you to have these sort of greater experiences, whether it's, like I said, if you play a game and you're interacting with people and you're having challenges and figuring out whether it be a puzzle, or you're going outside and learning a new skill and you have to keep practicing at it, and eventually you get better and you start to thrive on that feeling of improving on it, right? Like actually this year, one of my goals was to juggle, and I was timing myself, and I think it took me about like 9 days or something, and the time was like 2.5 hours. So I started recording how long, and I would only do like 10 minutes a day or something like that, or it was maybe 10 to 20 minutes, and then, but after 2.5 hours of just like slowly adding to it, I was able to do it. And sometimes I'd get really caught up. Like I would say I'm going to do 10 minutes a day, but then I'd end up doing 20 or 30 because I was just so ready to go. But that's like I said, it takes your mind off of so many things when you're doing that, right? And then eventually when you start to do it, it's a pretty damn good feeling, right? Especially juggling. Juggling is really fun. If you don't know how to juggle, that's a challenge right there. Try juggling and see how much better.
And then you tell us, like I said, it's fun.
But I was as simple as I literally just timed myself every day and said I'm going to do it for 10 minutes. And then at the 10 minutes just ended up going a lot longer than that. I also love any kind of games. Even today, like I was at the Granville toy shop and last week or whatever, and I wanted to just go and play on the arcade. I didn't bring any change, but all I wanted to do is just play the games, collect the tickets, and win prizes. That's fun for me.
That is cool,
and the thing is, like, you go out of your way to do that. Yeah, like you could collect tickets, and I was saying I'll go there and I'll just start saving tickets, and then eventually I'll get the big prize. I don't even know what the prizes were. I didn't even check. But I was saying I'll just go back. But I love those kind of games, right? And to me, it's the challenge that is fun. So if I go out of my way to find those challenges where I could either compete against somebody or against myself or improve. And so that's what really works for me. So. And
then how it correlates basically in the article that I'll link below as well is then things that normally might stress you out. So if you have someone like Kevin who gets a chance to have fun in his career and then have fun outside of it as well, things that might stress the average person out might stress you out, yes, but roll off your back easier. So you might be like, oh yeah, this is stressful, and then like 10 minutes later you'd be like, oh well, I'm having fun anyways, like.
I guess I think I'm pretty lucky. I've always kind of been like that, like I've never really.
But you kind of said, like, even since you were younger, you were always kind of having fun. Even if you took your football thing and it was serious, but you reflect back, you're like, actually, but it was fun.
Yeah, and I mean, in all honesty, I wasn't like the greatest student or anything like that because it wasn't fun to me, and I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to go play sports and do gym class and that, right? But so then, I mean, luckily enough, I was able to find a career where I was able to do that. But even if you're not in like if you can't do that all the times in a day, you should be able to do something outside, right? Or at least find a way to get sort of a reward or some sort of satisfaction out of your job, right? So never let other things kind of get in the way of enjoying what you're actually doing, right? But make sure you kind of have something that you're working towards or keeping you occupied, or something that you could go to that de-stresses you. Like I said, takes your mind off of things. So that's kind of what we wanted to talk about a bit today. Share a little bit of our own experiences, and
and then when you're de-stressed, the whole point of it is when your stress is a little bit lower. Typically people come in to see trainers most of the time either because they're injured or because they want to lose fat, they say. We kind of change their perspective to have more fun and enjoy the simple things. And then your body just starts shredding the fat away once you're actually moving a little bit more and eating a little bit healthier. You don't have to go crazy, but usually people come to us from sitting all day doing nothing, not having as much fun. We increase their fun levels a little bit, get them moving a little bit in a healthy way, and get them eating a little bit in a healthy way. No crazy fads, something that they could do sustainable, something that one day they could adopt and love. And we've witnessed it over time and time again where people will be like, oh, I don't want to do this. I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to do that specific thing. Like, I had lots of people say, I don't want to run. I'm like, that's fine, don't run then. And then after like a year, like I saw them just running on the street. I'm like, I thought you didn't want to run. They're like, oh, I thought I'd get tried out. And you know what? I'm actually at a level where I actually enjoy it. But the old me, I wouldn't even attempt it. So yeah, we never force anybody really to do anything. We kind of say the pros and cons of things and let you do it. And if you perceive something as fun, you'll probably do it.
Yeah, and you know, we're talking about all these things now, and it's like it can segue into so much, right? You talk about the running. Yeah. You know, you might not like it because it's really, really hard at first because it's probably out of your capabilities. But as you get closer and closer, you'll start to enjoy it and then a lot of that is going to come from the challenging aspect of it, right? Or the way it makes you feel, right? Because eventually you lift weights, you lift 10 pounds, maybe hard at the start, and then after a long time, it's easy, and you don't want to do the easy part anymore, right? You kind of want to
a new
do
challenge.
So you just start doing more, and it's not even like so much that you have to have, tell yourself that. It's more just like it's pulling you towards doing that, right? And that's the challenge or the the stimulation that you're getting from doing it. So like
a video game, you wouldn't play the same level over and over and over again. You might, but over time you'd be like, I want to see what the next level's like. I can't believe I got level 1 done. And then next level, and that's when it actually becomes fun. Honestly, when I first started working out, it was not fun. I didn't like it. I knew it was good for me, and I knew I should do it. And that was before I was a trainer. And then the side effects from that, I completely switched industries from tech to personal training just because I had so much belief in it that I was like, I have to tell everybody, like, this is insane. Why would not everybody want this? And like I was lucky I only spent like 20-ish, 25 years of my life not getting to experience that, but I was like, well, now I want to experience it and do it for the rest of my life, like.
Just so it's never too late.
It's never
right?
too late.
Whatever, if you haven't done much. And that's kind of why we're here, right? Is we want to, teach you how to do things that you maybe are not confident in or don't know how to do. Or even if you went online and searched something out that you might not get the proper instruction, or you want some guidance or something that's totally specific to you. So that's what we're here for, right? So even if you haven't done it in a while, or you're nervous to do it, we want to help you do that and guide you, like I said, the right way to go step by step so you're enjoying what you're actually doing and having fun. Right? We want to make sure that you're always having fun with us here. Okay?
Alright.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so that's it for fun. But on the same video, let's actually talk about sleeping.
Okay.
You want to elaborate on that a little bit? Like, I'll go through it. So I'll include a link as well for sleeping because it kind of relates with fun too. Like I believe if you're having a lot of fun throughout life, you probably are, moving a little bit more, doing more things, and then you'll sleep a little bit better because you have a little bit less stresses. Like who... you can raise your hand, and I won't see you, but raise your hand if you've had a stressful day and you couldn't sleep properly at night because it's just constantly on your mind. Wouldn't it be nice if you trained yourself over time to be like, I have a decent balance of fun, that these stresses don't outweigh the fun I'm having in life, and then I can sleep a little bit better. When you sleep a little bit better, you recover faster. When you recover faster, you can do more fun activities, whether that is physical, like walking, running, hiking, weightlifting, whatever that is, or just feeling more energy to do the other things you love, bonding with your family, doing stuff like that, versus just kind of being there but not being there at the same time. You're like, I'm just kind of getting through life, versus I get to live life. Like, there's a huge difference.
Yeah, and doing things that you like whether you like it or not, like, takes a lot of energy, right? Like if you're tired, you're not, you're gonna want to maybe go to sleep early or take a nap or whatever it may be, or you have to grind through work. Sleeping more will help you enjoy those things a bit more, right? Like, I know on days where I have less sleep and I have to have a lot of energy when I'm at my job, and it's a lot harder when I don't have as much sleep, and it makes me, it makes me want to go to sleep a little bit early the next day, and I kind of realize what I did, but like I notice a difference in sort of the energy that I have here, whether it's, the day seems to go by slower, or, demonstrating exercise is just a lot harder. Like I feel like like I just like, oh no, I gotta get up and off the floor, right? Whereas, but that's only on the days where I don't get the good sleep, right? And then I might come home that day and then take a nap rather than perhaps doing something else I like, or going outside, or doing a bike ride, or doing my workout properly, right? So that affects a lot of things in your life. So one thing is, that's one of the biggest outliers. People talk about what they need to do to change, and so your eating, your nutrition, and sleep are probably the top 3. And you could almost argue that sleep is the biggest thing, because it's hard to kind of do all those when you're not getting sleep, because your body is just telling you we want this, and it's almost sending all these hormones to basically put that as a priority. So find a way to get more sleep. Oftentimes when it comes to your health, right, or when it comes to working out, right, if a client's working out 6 days a week and they're barely sleeping, we just try to say, okay, find a way to work out a little bit less and sleep a little bit more. Right, and it correlates to all those things where, like I said, if you don't have your sleep, your energy, it's going to affect sort of your motivation, and you're not going to be able to do all those things, right? Or you might even not like work as much, or you're going to let stressful things get to you even more because you're fatigued, or your body hasn't been able to sort of recover or regulate its hormones during sleep, and you're releasing more of this cortisol or stress hormone that's affecting things. So.
And then it's a domino effect, because then your cortisol levels are so high that the next day you can't fall asleep, and so on and so on. It's not instant, but usually these things we hear are like compiled over months and months or years of poor sleeping patterns or poor eating or poor movement. And when you're sleep deficient and maybe you're a little bit more stressed out because you don't get to play or sleep as well as you would like to, things agitate you way more than they should or normally would, let's say. Let's say in the background there's a child crying where normally it doesn't affect you at all, but maybe you're in, and that's when you get to play and have sleep. Maybe today you didn't get as much play or sleep, and that's a little bit agitating. Now imagine you go months of not that. Now it's really agitating, and you can see people throughout the world, if you pay attention, like when I'm grocery shopping or this and that, I hear the craziest things, like if there's a long lineup and stuff like that, like it's like the world is ending. People are such agitated and pushed to their limits, and I'm literally like, I get to hear them mumble under their breath, and I'm laughing, not at them, but I'm laughing, I'm like, this is so silly. But also sad that they are in such a state of misery that everything in life is miserable.
Yeah. So, and if you're not getting enough sleep, you wake up and you say, I wish I could sleep a little bit more. So one thing is, like no one, that's what you're thinking. I know you are. Yeah. Try and think about that when you're at home and it's, 6 o'clock, and think about the way that you felt when you woke up, right? And kind of think, almost get in your head to kind of think about how good it felt to just lay there an extra 5 minutes and then go and do that, right? That's kind of, because I used to I used to get like 6 hours of sleep and I'd be really, really tired in the morning. And then I started to just think about that. And then obviously, like, it got to the point where, like, this is when I started working like 6 a.m. And I started doing that, and it kind of made this big jump to it. So I wouldn't get enough sleep because I was not used to going to bed at the time, and then I just had to think about it like, oh, well, it felt so good, or I hated the way it felt when I woke up tired. So that's kind of what pushed me to start going to bed earlier and taking it a bit more seriously. So, but yeah, I was just essentially having crappy sleep, and that was at the fault of my own, right? But like I said, it would affect the way I perform my job, and that also would affect my clients, which I hated, right? But it also, I'd come home, have crappy workouts, or barely get through them because I just didn't really feel like it that much, and then I'd want to just take a nap, and then I'd wake up, and then I would be wired, and then I'd try to go back to bed, and I'd fall asleep way too late anyways, so it was this terrible cycle.
And it's an old habit, and lots of people are similar to that story. I hear lots of people when I'm trying to adjust their sleep patterns, I want to get the most out of my day. Like, all I am at work then, so I would need to stay up till midnight or 1 or 2 to get the most out of my day, but the things that they're doing aren't really helping them or being in a quality state. It's just you're stretching out the time that, yes, you are awake and that you could be enjoying something, but you're really not. You're either just staring at the TV or staring at another screen. Or some people maybe have insomnia, can't talk, or other sleeping problems. So you just have to slowly try to groom healthier habits. Like maybe when it's like 6, 7 o'clock at night, start dimming all the lights in your house, or don't have them on. Stop having the screen so bright. If you have like different lighting options, red light is more soothing and relaxing. So if you have light bulbs that are red in the house, you could have that. There's lots of LEDs you can get from Amazon for cheap now. There's a sleeping article I'll put in there, but there's tons of advice that you could slowly change your habits. And then once you have a quality night's sleep, like a real quality, you're gonna be like, oh my god, why didn't I do this years ago? Because the hours that I'm awake through work and after work are very happy, versus like I'm just kind of there, I'm stretching out my time.
Yeah, and even start just slow, right? Like, so if you're not used to getting a lot of sleep, it might be hard to just jump into it for an extra 2 hours, but just focus on getting to sleep half an hour earlier. And that doesn't mean going to bed at 10 o'clock and looking at your phone till 11 in your bed, right? And that's one thing too, is actually, if you're having trouble getting to sleep, try putting your phone in the other room. right? Charge it in another room and get an alarm clock. They're $15. And that's a good way to avoid distractions. Like you go to bed and what else are you gonna do, right? And you go back to or go to sleep, wake up with your alarm, then go check your phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, technology, it kind of helps us but hinders us at the same time. Again.
Yeah, moderation thing, right?
So, yeah. So takeaways: have fun and sleep well, and you'll probably achieve your goals.
Perfect. So anyways, we're going to try and put out more videos like this. So always let us know what you want to hear about. If you want specific information, you can even tell us your situation itself, right? Hey, I'm dealing with this right now. What would you do in that? And we'll try and extrapolate and create solutions for those issues or just provide more information. And I guess now that I'm thinking about it, we probably could have put this as a start, but this would be a great video to put on while you're doing cardio or walking or have on the background.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So you just throw in your headphones and do the dishes or the laundry or whatever the heck it is and just listen to it. Because you don't really need to watch, but you should listen.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all we got for you today. So we'll try and bring again another video a week from now. Let us know what you want and want to talk about basically, and we'll be here for you.
All right.
All right.
Cheers, everybody.
Take care, guys.
Bye.